All right, let's do Lab 2, Exploring Magnetism. You'll need a LabQuest device, a magnetic field sensor, bar magnet, a degree wheel, a piece of tape, and your iPad. All right. The purpose or objective of part 1, which we'll talk about now, is to use a magnetic field sensor to graph the magnetic field of a bar magnet. All right, so let's go ahead and do that. I'll plug in my sensor. I want you on the 6.4 setting so that you have 3 places after the decimal place. All right, tape your, know that the sensor can position between straight and 90 degrees in one direction. You can't bend it backwards. If you do that, please don't. If you do that, it'll break. So only carefully bend it the direction it's meant to go. So I'm going to have it in the 90-degree position, the way it's supposed to go. And I'm going to tape it down to my lab table so that it's pointing up at the ceiling. All right, I'm going to go ahead and get ready for data collection here. I'm going to change my rate from 20 to 2. I want 2 samples per second. Everything else can stay the same. 10-second duration. I'm going to take the south end of the bar magnet and I'm going to, over 10 seconds, I'm going to slowly move it towards and away from the sensor. So I'll hit play on the LabQuest, and over 10 seconds, at about 5 seconds I should be about halfway, towards and away from the sensor. Okay, I've got a graph of that happening. I'm going to select the file cabinet icon. Now I'm on run 2. Similar, slightly different. I'm going to take the north end of the magnet now and do the same thing. So I'm going to hit play. And over 10 seconds, with 5 seconds being the halfway point, I'm going to go towards and away from the sensor. Now I'm going to select the file cabinet icon again, and now I'm on run 3. Run 3, similar, but I'm going to make another change. Now I want the sensor pointed down. So that's where the tape comes in handy again. Okay, the sensor's pointed down towards the table. All right, so for run 3, I'm going to again use the magnet, this time again the south end for run 3. The sensor pointed down. So slowly over the course of 10 seconds. All right. All right, and then save that, and now we're on to the run 4. And so for run 4, our last run, we'll do the north end. So hit play. 10 seconds, slowly towards and away. All right, so now I've got all 4 of my runs, 1, 2, 3, and 4. Okay, and I'm going to get those on my iPad now. Look at that, it's not working. Sometimes if it doesn't want to connect to your device, what you can do is you can use the camera, and we'll give this a shot. Under connections, I'm going to try to scan that code. Yeah, I got it. Alright, so now here you go. Here's your 4 runs that you got. Great. So there's run 1. So that's my first screenshot. And you know what I'm going to do is I'm going to leave this key on there so I know what it is when I get my screenshot. Run 1. run 2, run 3, and run 4. Very good. Just going to go back to the experiments tab, leave it on there. I'm going to call that lab 2, part 1. So you can answer these. These are pre-lab questions. You can answer those, just by getting paper clips in the room or finding metal around the room that might not be magnetic. But here we are. This is what we just did. We did investigating bar magnets. So I'm just going to sketch just so you remember what everything was, and you should include these sketches in your write-up so that you remember as well. So for trial 1, we brought the south end of the magnet towards the sensor. For trial 2, we brought the north end of the magnet towards the sensor. For trial 3, remember we had the sensor pointed down, and we brought the south end of it towards it. And for trial 4, we had the sensor pointed down, and we brought the north end of the magnet towards the sensor. So just crude drawings there, but again it represents what we did. I'm going to bring my photos in here. There we go. So trial 1, the south end of the magnet. There's my graph. The reading got positive. Trial 2, the north end of the magnet. The reading got negative. Trial 3, reading was negative as it was away, and trial 4 was positive. Which end of the magnet produced a positive reading when the white dot, well, my sensor didn't have a white dot, yours might not either, the white dot might have fallen off. This is saying when the sensor was pointed towards the magnet. So, and then which end of the magnet produced a negative reading when facing the white dot, again, when going towards the sensor, not away from it. Not when the sensor was away, when the sensor was towards. All right, on to part 2. All right, for part 2, you're going to use the degree wheel this time. You're going to take the bar magnet and take the south end of the magnet, set it at 90. Before I do anything to my lab quest, I would probably make sure that I'm on this screen for graphical. I'm not within an experiment. I should probably be on this screen so that it tends to glitch out otherwise. All right, and then on my machine here, I'm going to go to the LabQuest app. I'm going to go File, New. I'm going to create a new experiment. I'm going to discard that old experiment because it's saved in my graphical app. I'm going to select time base. I'm going to change that to events with entry. I'm going to create a name for this called position. All right, the units are going to be degrees because I'm going around the degree wheel. That looks good. Great. I'm ready to start. I'm actually going to go ahead and hit play already since this is events with entry. Great. I'm going to position my sensor on the degree wheel. I'm going to aim the sensor at 0. See if I can do this with the camera here so that you can see what's going on. Okay, and then on my lab quest, I'll put this here so you can see, I'm going to hit keep, and I'm going to type in the position, which is 0. Okay. Now I'm going to go to 15 on the wheel here. I'm going to select keep. I'm going to type in 15. And now I'm going to turn it to 30. Aim that at 30. Hit keep. Type 30. And do that all the way around. Keep. 45. Okay, I made it all the way back around. from 0 to 360. I got my graph there. Let's go ahead and get that on our iPad. Again, I don't know why mine's not popping up. R2D2 should pop up, but it's not, so I'm having to select that option. Great, looks good. I'm gonna add the points and lines to this. Cool, there's my graph. I'm gonna double tap so that I can auto scale it. I'm gonna screenshot that and then go ahead and add that to your write-up. For part 2, paste your screenshot of the graph below. Great. On the graph, indicate where the south end of the magnet was located. That was right here, right? South end of the magnet was at 90 degrees. Cool. On to part 3. All right, for part 3, you can go ahead and just go to the screen on your LabQuest that shows magnetic field, but this time I want to have 4 places after the decimal, so switch it to the 0.3 setting. There we go, 4 places after the decimal. I'm going to go ahead and, because I'm on the 0.3 setting now, I'm going to go ahead and aim it at the ceiling, and I'm going to 0 this. And what I want you to do is keep an eye on that, and I want you to point it in all 4 directions, like meaning north, which is towards the wall that has the door where we come in, south, which is the other wall, towards the window, which is west, and then east towards the board. And while you're going in the 360 degrees, take a look at the sensor readout and find which direction, north, south, east, west, has the highest reading. And then figure out, sorry, that's the bell in the background here. And then figure out what happens as you point it towards the Earth, towards the core of the Earth. All right, so point the sensor north, south, east, and west. Again, north towards the door, other side of the wall, towards the window, which is west, or towards the chalkboard or the whiteboard, and figure out where you're getting your strongest positive reading, and then answer the questions for part 3.